Hi, I'm Adrianne, and welcome to the Hidden Curriculum of Life. This is where I share the lessons life has taught me through struggles, blessings, and all of the unexpected turns. My hope is that even if our paths are different, you'll hear something familiar in my stories and maybe even feel inspired to share your own. Let's get started. Episode 5, The Ripple Effect. How one choice shaped many lives. It was late 1990s, and I was in college at Lewis and Clark in Portland, Oregon. Now, on the outside, it looked like I had everything I needed. Good roommates, good school, a safe environment. But inside, I was so depressed. The constant rain, the gray skies, the heaviness of it all. I felt like I was living in darkness compared to LA. When the opportunity to study abroad came, I jumped at it. I wanted to go to Mexico, but the program was canceled. So my choices were Spain, Chile, or the Dominican Republic. And I chose the Dominican Republic. Now, partly because I love baseball. Go LA Dodgers. Don't hate me for it. But also partly because I wanted an adventure on an island. So Dominican Republic it was. And that's where I met him. He was a baseball player. Later on, I found out he was playing in the Rockies farm team. So handsome, very charming in Spanish. Charming as he spoke Dominican. So we started talking, and the conversation turned into a relationship. And that relationship would become the start of my 90-day fiance story. Long before it was a TV show. We dated long distance for a few years, back and forth between the Dominican Republic and the US. And by the time I graduated, I was finally able to bring him back to the States on a fiance visa. We did marry in February of 2000, kind of close to Valentine's. Now, not long after, in March of 2001, we had our son, Christian. We had love, but we didn't have stability. He didn't speak English. He didn't have a work permit, so he couldn't get work legally. And I was the one working full time, holding everything together. So by the end of 2003, our marriage was falling apart and we separated. But I didn't file for divorce. Why? Because I wanted him to become a US citizen. Not for me, but for our son. I didn't want my son to grow up without a father. I didn't want to have to send my son back to the Dominican Republic and, back to the States to have a relationship with his father. So I stayed legally married, even though we weren't together. And I carried that weight so he can carry a future. Now I realize that. Now, have you ever made a choice that hurt you in the moment, but you did it anyway? Because for some reason you believed it was the best thing for someone you loved. I'd like to hear your story. Now, during that time, life was messy. I was raising my son, working and trying to move forward, even while still legally married to a marriage that had ended a few years ago. I had already met someone new when I got pregnant in 2005, but it wasn't my husband. Because I was still legally married, I couldn't put my boyfriend's name on my daughter's birth certificate. So that became kind of like a running joke between us. But it was painful. So eventually, once my ex had gotten all the paperwork so he can get through and get the US citizenship, I finally divorced him. And it felt like a closing of a very long and complicated chapter for both of us. So years passed and my ex moved on, good for him. And he fell in love and he remarried. And the woman he married, which I love dearly, was undocumented. And because he was a US citizen, thanks to the years that I held that door open, he was able to help her. Now, it wasn't easy. The process has taken years. And eventually she was able to get some paperwork going, lawyers, money. So on top of him being a US citizen and helping her out with her paperwork, she also did, luckily, because they had been trying for so long, she got pregnant. And so now she's got a 2-for-1. And so they have a child, and she also has her American citizen husband that's getting her to be fully documented as so she can stay legally in the US. And one day, I remember my son had told me, my dad's wife, she's really grateful for you because without you, she technically wouldn't be here today. Now, he didn't say in those exact words, but he said something like that. And it really got me thinking, like, wow, what I did it for my son. And it's helping out some other family at this point, too, that decision I made. Now, the ripple effect didn't stop here. With his citizenship, my ex-husband was able to support his family back in the Dominican Republic. He helped his siblings when they were out there. One of his siblings is now here in the States, and the other one still is in the Dominican Republic. And all three, of course, are helping out mom and dad out there. But definitely having my ex-husband come out here and start that process of financially assisting the family back in the Dominican Republic was big. And all of this because of one choice I made in my 20s to hold on to a marriage that had emotionally ended, but long enough for him to build a future so that my son and anything else that comes along with my son and his dad can have a future. Looking back, I realized the hidden curriculum of life is this. The sacrifices we make sometimes ripple further than we will ever see or know. And at the time, it felt like a burden, especially once I had my daughter and I was still married. It felt like I was stuck, but in reality, it was an investment, not just in my son's future, but in the future of the people I didn't even know yet. His wife, who I dearly love. We are very, very close because she took care of my son, their children, and the new baby, his siblings, and his community back home. The investment that he makes by providing for his parents and the money he sends back is an investment in the community of the Dominican Republic there in Santiago. Now, what about you? Have you ever looked back at a decision, even one that hurt, painful hurt, and realized it created blessings you never could have imagined? Never, never. And if you don't know about them, wouldn't it be great if someone told you and thanked you for the one decision that you had made before and how it impacted them in the future? Let me know your story. I want to hear it. So now I'm going to go ahead and swap over to my special guests. I have my son, Christian. I have my daughter, Jalen, who are part of the story. And my youngest, who's not part of the story, really wanted to be in the guest interview. So you'll see him there. So I hope you appreciate my kids being them. And thank you so much for joining me. And I want to hear your ripple effect story. Email me, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook or TikTok /X. And if you know me personally, come and tell me. Tell me your story, and I'd be willing to go ahead and share it. Thank you. I have a special guest. I have my son, Cristian Taveras. He is my firstborn. So he is the son that was born with my first husband, the Dominican, that I did the fiance visa. And the reason why I have him here was he's the reason why I was inspired to write the story. And son, do you remember what you had told me that one time about Carla being thankful for me?
Yeah. She was just saying how she was thankful that you were able to kind of stick around and you were able to like stick around and kind of just not fully go through with the divorce so that the paperwork can go through and all that. Yeah. So it made it a lot easier to do paperwork and the immigration and all that. So that's why she was saying that she was thankful. And that's why she basically said that you basically got her papers in a way. That it wasn't for you. It was she wouldn't have gotten papers that easily.
All right. So besides that, my other question for you would be, being that your dad goes to the Dominican Republic a lot, and you've gone there too, even as a youngster. Would you say that was a good choice that I made to make sure that your dad stayed here long enough? It was a sacrifice for him too. I don't know if he tells you about it, but he couldn't go back home for a couple years. Um, what are some stories that he tells you about that?
Um, he just tells me how it was just hard in the beginning, just because he didn't speak English and how he had to like make $100 work a week, basically like for 2 weeks and stuff, and how you guys struggled, but you guys kind of made it work, but at the same time didn't. So I guess it was like a blessing, and it was like a blessing in disguise. Like you guys worked out better as like friends and together. Like you guys worked better as a team in a way. But I don't know. I don't know what I kind of like don't remember much from when I was younger. I kind of started remember stuff from when I was like in like elementary school. But that's when you were like in New Mexico and like you would go back and forth.
Yeah.
But that's what he said, that like you would like do that and try to like at least sacrifice and do that and come see me. So like 16-hour rides they start.
To New Mexico back to LA. Do you want to, would you say that your dad being an American citizen has helped his family in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, just like financial wise, and them being able to like not have to work and him be able to make good money, and then like them be able to be stable and live in a nice apartment and have food all the time, and him go over there too and take them stuff, and they have nice clothes and everything. So it helps. My dad even said that like if it wasn't for him coming over here, like it would suck. But I don't know. Like I said, it was like a something that happened for a reason.
Does your family over there have property and stuff like that?
I
Are
don't
they
know.
working on that?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I have to figure that out, but I don't really ask questions. I kind of
Hmm. Okay.
just whatever they tell me. I just know that my dad just is like he pays for the apartment that my grandparents live in. That's all. That's basically all I know. But
And
and
it's a
then
nice apartment, right?
it's like a middle class apartment. It's not nothing crazy. But I mean, they live and they have a car. My uncle also helps them, which helps. It's not just my dad. It's and then also my aunt. So it's like everybody kind of contributes. So it helps. They have three different incomes, two from out here and then one from over there.
Right.
And then Babaul also he works. So
Right. And did your dad help bring your sister, I mean your tia over, or that was a whole different transaction?
I think that was like a visa thing, and then Emma being born here. Yeah, it was like a visa thing. Like it wasn't supposed to happen like that, and then it just happened like that. Yeah. Basically, it was like she was supposed to come here. Emma was born, and then they go back, and then everything happened, and then now they're here for the past 9 years, living with us.
So with your dad, he remarried, and he also remarried with somebody who had children. How was that? How was that just like that, and that whole, so many siblings on your mom's side and siblings on your dad's side, and then the stepmom.
I don't know. I kind of got used to it just because like all my like siblings and half siblings were all kind of like on the same age. Like my step siblings were like a year younger and then like 3 years younger. I mean, a year older and then 3 years younger. And then my half sibling was the closest one was only 4 years younger. So it was all kind of close in age.
And how old is your youngest half sibling?
5.
And how old are you?
24. So yeah, when I was like 19 and a half.
So yeah.
I'm like the older brother. But I mean, it's fine. Whatever. I'm always out and about with baseball, so it's like they see me every now and then. But now they see me a lot more. So
yeah,
and I got to pick them up and take them to school.
Yeah, we're glad he's back. He's back for a little bit before he goes back off to play baseball. So next, I'm gonna get Jalen, my daughter, to wait for. I just need her for like 5 seconds. A quick question. Yeah.
5 seconds.
Or you know what, Christian can stay back here too. You can bring Mavis. We're gonna talk about the birth certificate. Because doesn't your dad say that Jalen is technically his daughter? Wait, Phoenix, please give us 5 minutes of silence, please. Right now. Hold on. So I have Jalen here, and this is my middle child, and she was the one that I had while still married, but I had already processed the divorce paperwork. They just hadn't been signed off and completed. And so when I gave birth to my daughter, they asked me about her dad, and I said I was still married. I don't know why I said that. And so they told me that I can't put her dad's name on her birth certificate until I'm divorced because I'm technically still married. And Jalen, just for fun, is your dad's name on your birth certificate yet?
No. I'm 20 years old and it's still not on there. So sad.
So Jalen has a dad, but it just doesn't show a dad on there. And I was not going to put Christian's dad on there either. But what's the running joke on that one, Christian?
That basically that my dad is her dad, technically.
Legally.
Legally, yeah. Which is
What about me?
All right. And then so no, you were born. You were born fine. You were born fine.
We all were.
Everyone was born fine. Come here. The youngest wants to be here now, huh?
No one took Tylenol.
You have to tell me when I get to be here.
Actually, I took Tylenol for Phoenix. Yeah. Phoenix, come here. I took Tylenol when I was with Phoenix, but I took baby Tylenol because my body kept rejecting my my pregnancies. And so the doctor mentioned that maybe if I tried baby Tylenol in the first few months, it might help. And it helped because now I have this one.
Baby Tylenol.
Yeah. So all of my kids, I took Tylenol with all of my kids. So that's Phoenix Silva. And then we got Jalen Lara. And then we got Christian Taveras. So yeah, all three of my kids have different baby daddies. But as you can see, I have all three of my kids here today with me as my special guests. And they are my first guests to my podcast of the Hidden Curriculum of Life with Adrianne. So I'm really, really grateful for them to be here. All right. Just want to say bye and thank you for hearing us out. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you okay?
Thanks for hanging out with me today and listening to my story. Every time I share one of these moments, I hope it sparks something in you. Maybe a memory, maybe a question, maybe even the courage to share your own story. If you got something on your heart, I'd love to hear it. Send me an email or connect with me on Instagram, both Hidden Curriculum of Life. And hey, if this episode made you think or made you smile, share it with someone else who might need it. Until next time, keep looking for the hidden lessons, keep your heart open, and I'll see you in the next story. Bye.